My parents stayed rent-free in one side of my duplex. Then they told me to switch places with my brother because he deserved a better start. Behind my back, they even gave tours of my unit. What they didn't know was, I had already sold the entire property. My name is Maggie, and 6 months ago, I purchased a duplex in a serene neighborhood just outside Portland. It wasn't my ideal home, but it had promise. 2 identical units with separate entrances and a shared backyard. The real estate agent emphasized its potential for rental income, but I had other intentions. My parents had been struggling financially since Dad lost his job, and Mom's part-time library gig barely covered their essentials. When I showed them the back unit, Mom said, "Mija, we can't accept this. It's too generous." She was already inspecting the kitchen cabinets with a discerning eye. "It's not charity," I insisted. "It's an investment in our family." Dad lingered in the doorway, hands in pockets. "Your mother's right, Maggie. We raised you to be self-sufficient, not to support us." But they moved in anyway. What choice did they have? The alternative was squeezing into my younger brother Chris's cramped one-bedroom apartment with his girlfriend Nina. That arrangement would have ended in chaos within days. The first month felt almost idyllic. Mom planted herbs in the backyard. Dad tinkered with repairs in both units, and I felt like my engineering salary was finally making a difference. Then the subtle remarks began. Over coffee, Mom noted. "The morning light in your unit is so much nicer, Maggie. Ours feels like a cave." I stirred my drink. "They're mirror images, Mom. Same layout." She shrugged. "Maybe, but yours faces east. It changes everything." The next week, she sighed. "Your kitchen has more counter space." "Doesn't?" I measured. "It feels bigger," she said, adding, "We're grateful though. We don't want to seem ungrateful." My friend Emma warned me over lunch at work. "They're going to exploit your generosity. That's what families do." I brushed it off. "Not my family. They're just settling in." But Emma gave me that look, the one that silently said, "You naive soul." Life fell into a rhythm. I'd wave to Mom on my way to work, help Dad with yard work on weekends, and ignore the growing list of gripes about their unit. The rent I wasn't charging went unmentioned, but the free utilities, maintenance, and Wi-Fi became expected, not appreciated. Then one day I found my front door slightly ajar. I always lock it. Heart racing, I eased it open, scanning for signs of intrusion. Nothing was missing, the TV, my laptop, all untouched. But in the kitchen I found a glossy pamphlet on the counter, Creating the Perfect Nursery, From Dream to Reality. It featured a pristine baby room with soft yellow walls and white furniture. I'm not pregnant, not dating, and definitely not planning a nursery. "Mom," I called, heading to the connecting door. "Did you come into my unit today?" Her voice floated back. "Just for a moment, Mija. I was looking for the measuring tape." "What's this nursery pamphlet doing here?" A pause. "Oh, Nina must have left it. She and Chris stopped by earlier." My stomach sank. "They were in my unit?" "Just briefly," Mom said. "Nina wanted to see the layout. They're thinking about starting a family." I gripped the pamphlet, processing her words. Why was my brother's girlfriend touring my home? Why were they measuring it while I was at work? "Next time," I said, keeping my voice even, "don't let anyone in without asking me." Mom sighed. "Maggie, don't be dramatic. We're family." Family, the word that was supposed to mean everything but always seemed to cost me something. My phone buzzed with a text from Emma. "Girl, you need to see what Nina posted on Instagram." I knew my quiet life was about to unravel. Nina's Instagram story showed her twirling in my master bathroom, captioning it "Future Home Tour" with heart emojis. My cream-colored tiles were unmistakable. I replayed it 3 times before calling Emma. "Tell me I'm not crazy." "You're not," she said. "That's your bathroom. What's going on?" Before I could respond, my phone buzzed again. A text from Chris, clearly not meant for me. "Mom says Mags will cave once we explain. She's always been practical." A second later, "Sorry sis. Wrong chat." I marched to my parents' unit and knocked firmly. Mom opened the door, already wearing her "I'm about to justify everything" expression. "We need to talk," I said, brushing past her into their living room. Dad was in his recliner, engrossed in a crossword puzzle or pretending to be. I held up my phone, showing Nina's video. "Why is my brother's girlfriend giving tours of my home on social media?" Mom sat, smoothing her skirt. "We were going to discuss this properly. Chris and Nina are ready to start a family. They simultaneously need space, and your unit would be perfect for them. The back unit is fine for one person. You're always at work anyway." The casual way she said it, like I was swapping parking spots, not my home, made my chest tighten. "Let me get this straight," I said. "You want me to give up the unit I own, that I pay the mortgage on, so Chris can have it?" Not give up, Dad said, eyes still on his puzzle. Trade. You'd still have a place. A smaller, darker place. I shot back. The one you've been complaining about for months. Mom waved a hand. Those were just observations, not complaints. Besides, Chris needs support. You're established, Mija. You have your career. Chris is just starting out. Nina wants to be a stay-at-home mom. And I don't need support? I snapped. I bought this place. I gave you a free home. How is that not supporting family? That's different, Mom said. You're fine on your own. You always have been. The word stung, echoing a lifetime of Maggie's fine, Maggie's strong, Maggie can handle it. And Chris isn't fine at 27? I asked. When does he start handling things? Family helps family, Dad muttered. Really? Because it feels like family takes advantage of family. Mom's face hardened. You're being selfish. Think about your future niece or nephew. My theoretical niece or nephew needs my unit? I laughed, the absurdity hitting me. Nina's already picked out paint colors, Mom said, as if that settled it. She has vision for the space. I shook my head. No, I'm not trading units. Chris and Nina aren't moving in. This conversation is over. Mom's eyes narrowed. Just say you don't want us here. I wanted you here, I said. I wanted to help. What I don't want is to be pushed out of my home for your favorite child. I walked out, ignoring her calls. Back in my unit, I called Emma. How bad is it? She asked. Remember when Chris broke my science project and I ended up apologizing? That bad. Worse. You know what this means, she said. Stop being the good daughter and start being smart. Get into your bank account. I stared at the nursery pamphlet. What do you mean? I know a real estate agent, Kingsley. Want his number. I thought about Mom's dismissal, Chris's text, the measuring tape. Yes, I said. I think I do. That afternoon, my motion detector pinged at 2:17 p.m. I'd installed it that morning, a discreet device aimed at my front door. From my office cubicle, I watched the live feed as Chris and Dad slipped into my unit. You sure she's at work? Chris asked. She never comes home before 5, Dad replied. Where's the measuring tape? I turned up my phone's volume, hands shaking. Got it, Chris said. Nina wants to make sure a king bed fits in here. The camera caught him stretching the tape across my bedroom wall. Mom said Maggie will come around once we explain the baby thing. Your mother knows how to handle her, Dad said. Mags always caves. Remember when she gave you her car in college? Dad chuckled. The Toyota. Your mother convinced her you needed it more for your pizza delivery job than she did for her internship. Good times. Think these closets are big enough for a nursery conversion? I shut off the feed, my coffee turning bitter. I messaged Emma. Need lunch now. 20 minutes later, we sat in her car behind the office. I showed her the video. Those entitled. Emma stopped herself. Please tell me you called the police. And say what? My family used a key to measure my bedroom for furniture they'll never buy. Point taken. She pulled out her phone. I'm calling Kingsley. This is creepy. The real estate agent? He's handling properties on your block. There's an investment firm buying up buildings, paying above market for vacant units. Vacant. I watched her dial. You mean kick out my parents? I mean stop being a doormat and start being strategic. She put the call on speaker. Kingsley answered, his voice polished. Emma, perfect timing. Is your friend ready to talk numbers? Emma looked at me. Excellent, Kingsley said. The firm, Reed Scott Investments, is very interested. They're offering premium prices for duplexes, but they need them empty. I thought about Nina's Instagram tour, Mom's dismissal, the measuring tape. How premium? He named a figure that made me choke on my iced tea. That's significant, I managed. What's the timeline? They want to close fast. 3 weeks max. Both units vacated before closing. Emma muted the call. You could buy a nice condo with that. No entitled family measuring your closets. I unmuted. Send me the paperwork. I'll email it today, Kingsley said. Discretion is key until we're ready to move. After hanging up, Emma studied me. You okay? I don't know. Justified. I was going to say terrifying. My phone buzzed. A voice memo in the family group chat. Chris's voice. Mom, Dad, I can't thank you enough for making this happen. This is my first big step toward adulthood, and I couldn't do it without you. Nina's already planning the baby's room. Emma raised an eyebrow. Still terrified? I played it again, letting Chris's entitled confidence sink in. He hadn't even removed me from the chat. Send me Kingsley's email, I said. At work I couldn't focus. Kingsley's property listing showed my duplex from the street, a modest building with good bones and the paint I'd paid for last spring. The offer letter waited in my inbox, cursor blinking on the signature line. My phone buzzed. Mom, Maggie, come to dinner tonight. We need to discuss some necessary upgrades to your unit. Nothing major, just changes to make it more suitable for a young couple. The audacity made me laugh. They weren't even pretending anymore. I typed back, sure, Mom. Happy to talk about changes. Then I signed Kingsley's preliminary paperwork. Emma messaged, did you do it? Just signed. Is it wrong that I feel nothing? No. That's your self-respect growing back. In the family chat, Chris sent another voice memo. Can't wait to give this place the update it needs. No offense, Max, but your style's a little basic. I was tempted to reply but instead emailed Kingsley. Paper signed. Let's make this happen. Sometimes revenge isn't a loud confrontation. It's a quiet signature no one sees coming. Kingsley's office was sleek. Glass, chrome, expensive coffee. He wore a suit worth more than my first car. Reed Scott is very interested in your property, he said, sliding a folder across his desk. Location, condition, potential, it checks every box. They need both units empty for renovations. He paused. I understand there might be personal complications. I thought about Mom's text that morning. Nina's parents want to see the nursery space next week. We'll use your spare key. No complications, I said. Just timing. The numbers in the folder were staggering. The down payment alone could fund a condo. The full amount could buy something outright in a better area. 3 weeks is fast, I said. That's why the offer's generous, Kingsley replied. Reed Scott values efficiency. I reached for a pen. Where do I sign? As I signed, he explained the process. Deposit in days, full payment at closing. I just had to ensure both units were vacant. How do you handle notifications? I asked. Typically, we post formal notices once the deal is firm. Given your situation, you might want to handle it differently. Tell them myself? He shrugged. Sometimes it's easier to let the paperwork do the talking. Back at work, Emma brought coffee. It's done. 3 weeks until closing. How do you feel? Like I'm either the worst daughter or the first sane person in my family. Option B, she said, perching on my desk. Started looking for new places? Found a condo downtown. My phone buzzed. Chris, hey sis. Nina's parents are coming next week to see the place. Mom said you're cool with it. I replied, sorry, busy with work. Can't make it. He responded, no worries, we have keys. The entitlement solidified my resolve. I opened Mom's email, titled Necessary Changes for Chris and Nina's New Home. The list was absurd. Remove personal items from master bedroom. Nina needs a clean slate. Paint walls neutral, current colors too dark. Replace showerhead. Chris prefers rainfall style. Install closet organizers. Nina needs shoe space. Remove office desk. Nursery space. At the bottom, we can start this weekend. No need to thank us. Emma read it. Oh hell no. It gets better, I said. They've planned my move to the back unit by months and so Chris and Nina can prepare. That's a week before the eviction notices, Emma noted. Karma. I closed the email and pulled up condo listings. A corner unit caught my eye, 12th floor, city views, no family with spare keys. That's the one, Emma said. Look at that balcony. Nina posted another Instagram story. Can't wait to transform this space. Sorry about the current decor. Previous occupants' taste was a bit basic. I scheduled a condo viewing that afternoon. Want company? Emma asked. Yes. I need someone to remind me I'm not crazy. Dad texted. Your mother's put a lot of thought into these upgrades. Don't make this difficult. The family motto. Don't rock the boat. I turned off my phone and grabbed my keys. Let's go see my future home. One without a guest key under the mat. At dinner, Mom said, this sauce is delicious, Mija, but the back unit's kitchen doesn't have enough counter space for proper cooking. I refilled her wine, smiling. The last family dinner in this house, though they didn't know it. 2 weeks to closing. I've been thinking about what you said. I told her. Her face lit up. About the unit swap. Chris nearly choked. You're okay with it? You know what they say, family first. The words burned. Nina clapped. This is perfect. I have paint samples, and wait till you see the nursery mood board. Dad looked wary. That's generous, Maggie. It's nothing, I said, clearing plates. Just let me think about timing. Later, I checked off my secret list. Host last family dinner. Next. Remove name from utilities. Kingsley texted. Paperwork finalized. Reed Scott confirms closing date. Notice is up in 1 week. I'd moved most valuables to storage, and my downtown condo was mine, keys in hand. Emma helped move boxes at night to avoid suspicion. Chris knocked. "Can I come in?" "Sure." I closed my moving checklist. He looked around my half-packed living room. "Just wanted to say thanks. This means everything." "Of course." I gestured to a box. "Just organizing. Need help packing?" He picked up a childhood photo of us. "Remember when I broke your science project and you helped me finish mine?" "I remember. You've always been the responsible one," he said. "Mom says you're fine with moving next week." I stayed neutral. Still working out details. Nina's parents are coming Sunday. They're excited about their grandchild growing up here. My phone buzzed. "Kingsley. Eviction notices printed. Ready when you are." "That's great," I said. "Everything's falling into place." Chris hugged me, a rare gesture. "You're the best sister." After he left, I changed the locks on my back doors, another checklist item. Through the window, I saw Mom planning more improvements in her kitchen. Emma called. "How's the poker face?" "Oscar-worthy. They're planning a nursery in a home they'll never live in." Notices. 1 week. Right after Nina's parents' tour. Mom sent another list. "Your kitchen cabinets need updating before Chris moves in." Nina's mood board planned to paint over my freshly redone walls. "How's the new place?" Emma asked. "Beautiful. No drama, no spare keys." Mom texted the group. "Great news. We invited Nina's parents to see where the kids will raise our grandchild. Sunday at 2. Maggie, ensure your unit is presentable." I replied, "Can't wait." Emma snorted. "You're evil." "No, I'm practical." Another text from Mom. "We'll need to start moving your things to the back unit next week. Chris and Nina want to paint before the baby furniture arrives." I didn't respond. My checklist was nearly complete. Change locks, remove valuables, transfer utilities, host dinner, secure new home. 1 item left. Watch it unfold. Nina's Sunday Instagram story. Big day. Can't wait to show everyone our future home. I saved it for when guilt might creep in, though it hadn't. Every entitled text, every boundary crossed, had eroded any remorse. 1 week of nodding, smiling, pretending. Then they'd learn what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. The eviction notices went up at 9 a.m. Monday. Mom's scream echoed. She pounded on my door. "Maggie, open up." I opened it, and she thrust the notice at me. "What is this?" "A joke." I read it. "Notice of eviction. Property sold. 3 weeks to vacate." "I got one too," I said. Chris burst in, Nina behind him. "They can't just sell the building." "Actually," I said, "they can." I called the number. Dad appeared, ashen. "What did they say?" "Reed Scott Investments bought it. They're renovating both units." Nina cried. "But the nursery. We had everything planned." "I'm sure we'll figure something out," Mom said, patting her. "Maggie, call them. Tell them you own this unit." "Owned," I corrected. "The sale's final." Chris grabbed his phone. "I'm calling a lawyer." A black car pulled up. Kingsley stepped out, briefcase in hand. "Perfect timing," I said. "That's the agent." Kingsley knocked. "Good morning. I represent Reed Scott Investments. I see you've received our notices." Mom pushed forward. "This is a mistake. My daughter owns this building." "Former owner," Kingsley said, opening his briefcase. "The sale finalized last week. I have the paperwork." Chris snatched it, scanning. "These are dated 2 weeks ago. You knew." I stayed neutral. "I got the same offer. Reed Scott's buying up the neighborhood. Why didn't you tell us?" Nina demanded. "Would it have mattered? The offer was too good." Mom's face paled. "You sold it without telling us? Like you were giving away my unit without telling me." Silence. Kingsley cleared his throat. "Both units must be vacated within 3 weeks. Reed Scott offers a modest relocation allowance." Chris laughed bitterly. "Our whole future was planned here." "Your future," I said. "In my home you measured behind my back." Dad's face showed understanding first. "Maggie, the notices are legal," Kingsley continued. "I suggest securing new housing." Nina sobbed. "My parents bought nursery furniture. It's coming next week." "Cancel that delivery," I said. Mom whispered. "You planned this. You're no longer our daughter." "Funny," I whispered back. "I stopped feeling like your daughter when you decided my home was Chris's." Kingsley handed out packets. "These contain rental listings and moving company recommendations." Chris crumpled his. "This isn't over. We'll fight this." "Feel free," Kingsley said. "The contract's ironclad. Miss Valdez's lawyer ensured that." All eyes turned to me. You had a lawyer? Dad asked. I learned from the best, I said. Family first, right? Nina stormed out, Chris shouting about lawsuits. Mom clutched her notice like a lifeline. 3 weeks, Kingsley reminded them. After that, law enforcement removes remaining occupants. Dad took Mom's arm. Come on, Yolanda. We need to think. They left without looking at me. Kingsley waited until they were gone. Cleanly done. Closing documents are ready. I nodded, watching my family huddle in their unit, plotting. They'll fight this, he warned. Let them try. Sometimes revenge isn't just karma. It's karma with paperwork. He smiled and left. Emma texted. Did it happen? It's done. Freedom in 3 weeks. How do you feel? I looked at Nina's mood board on my counter. Like I grew a spine. Feels amazing. Moving day came with truck brakes and boxes. Emma and I watched movers empty both units. Mom and Dad's furniture went to storage. They'd found a small apartment across town. My things headed to my condo. They're still not speaking to you? Emma asked. Chris tried serving lawsuit papers. His lawyer dropped the case after seeing the contract. A crash inside. Nina stormed out, mascara streaking. This is your fault, she screamed. We had everything planned. You had my home planned, I said. There's a difference. Chris appeared. Come on, Nina. It's not worth it. Not worth it, she snapped. Your sister destroyed our future. Your future, I laughed. Where you redecorate my home, raise your kids in my space, and I disappear into the back unit? You're jealous, she spat. That we're starting a family and you're alone. Emma stepped forward, but I stopped her. I'm not alone, Nina. I'm free. Free to live in some soulless condo while we struggle? You could try paying for a place, I said. Like I did. Chris grabbed her arm. Let's go. We need to pack. This was our only shot, she yelled. Your parents promised us this place. It was never theirs to promise, I said. Nina turned on Chris. You're a little boy who never grew up. I'm done waiting. She stormed to her car and sped off. Chris looked lost. This was supposed to be my chance to prove myself. By taking what's mine? You always had everything figured out, he said. The job, the house, the plan. I figured it out by working. Try it. He shook his head. You don't understand. Mom and Dad promised you my home? Taught you taking from me was okay? Made you think you deserved what I built? They wanted me settled. And I was supposed to make that happen by giving up everything. A moving truck left, leaving the driveway empty. Mom sat in their bare living room staring at nothing. You should have paid for your own future, I told Chris, instead of stealing mine. He walked away, shoulders slumped. Dad came out holding a box of photos. Your mother kept every school picture, he said, avoiding my eyes. Even the ones where you wouldn't smile. I wasn't big on faking happiness. He shifted the box. We thought you'd understand about Chris needing a chance. I understand. I just stopped agreeing. Mom appeared in the doorway. We're ready, she told Dad, ignoring me. They got into their packed car. As they drove off, I saw Mom wipe her eyes. Emma touched my arm. You okay? Honestly, yes. It hurts, but not as much as letting them take everything. Want to see your new place? One last thing. We walked through the empty units. My footsteps echoed. In my old bedroom, Nina's paint samples, nursery yellow, baby's breath white, clung to the wall. I peeled them off. Ready? Emma asked. Ready. I locked both doors. The keys would go to Kingsley tomorrow. At my condo, city lights sparkled through floor-to-ceiling windows. Emma poured wine. To measuring tapes and karma. Kingsley texted. Reed Scott listed the duplex. Asking price double what they paid. They're not wasting time, Emma said. I scrolled through the listing. Both units gutted, my life erased. No word from my family. Chris sent a drunk text, I said. Nina moved back to her parents. She's done waiting for him to grow up. Your parents. Mom blocked me. Dad sends one-word holiday replies. It's peaceful. Nina had untagged me from her future home posts. Her mood board vanished. What's funny, I said, is I used to wonder if I was too harsh, if I should have given in, moved to the back unit. Now I sleep fine. Emma said. I ran into your mom at the store comparing soup prices. Living within their means. She asked about you, pretending it was casual. What did you say? That you're thriving, your place has great light. And karma sometimes signs title paperwork. I laughed, remembering Mom's face when Kingsley arrived. A text from an unknown number. It's Dad. New phone. Your mother won't admit it, but she misses you. I showed Emma. You responding? I thought about it. Maybe when they see me as an adult with boundaries, not a resource to exploit. If they never do, I'll enjoy my view. Emma refilled our glasses. Remember when Chris crashed your car, and your parents made you split the deductible because family helps family? I'd almost forgotten. You haven't forgotten. You just stopped accepting it. Tears welled as I looked at the city. I miss who I thought they were, the family I wanted, not who they are. Another text from Dad. We made mistakes. Big ones. No follow-up. That's new, Emma said. Admitting mistakes. Too little, too late. I set the phone down. They can keep their regrets. I'm keeping my peace. The moon rose, casting shadows through my new home. No measuring tapes, no nursery plans, no guilt. Emma toasted. To boundaries, consequences, putting yourself first. Kingsley texted. Reed Scott got an offer on the duplex. Above asking. Karma's profitable. I smiled. Reed Scott can have their profit. I got something better, freedom. The best part. I told Emma, sinking into my couch. No spare key hidden anywhere. She laughed. No surprise tours, no surprise anything. The city hummed outside, my space stayed mine. Measured by my dreams, decorated by my choices. Guilt had faded, replaced by certainty. Home isn't just where the heart is. It's where you protect your heart, even from family. Especially from family. I raised my glass to the city lights, to empty rooms filled with peace, to karma's timing, to measuring life by my standards, not theirs. Somewhere a family learned actions have consequences. Entitlement has limits, and some bridges, once burned, light the way to better places.